All right, fine.
All right. We have someone.
Here we go.
Oh my gosh. Periscope jumped up a notch. Oops. Damn it. We're supposed to be here. Hey, look, everybody, forget you saw us because I set up these incredibly fancy graphics
Hey,
for
John
you guys.
Viscara. Hey, Maria.
John Viscara, don't go anywhere.
Hey, Jane.
We got something fun for you prepared by one Bruce Press today.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, Brian. Nice to see you
Hello,
out
everybody.
there.
We have a bumper crop joining us on Twitter today, so we're going to go to the main quick. I would like everybody to point
On
out.
Twitter? I didn't even know we were on
We are
Twitter.
on Periscope, which is Twitter. I don't know.
I
I can't tell the two apart. It's like twins separated at birth, but joined at the head, which is a weird thing. I want everybody to look at the graphic. That is an Oscar the Grouch graphic for Grouch Day. In the bottom right corner there. Hello, Martin.
Good one.
And it's pretty darn good. Oscar is with his pal Covet. I think Oscar and Covet would get along famously. You know, Oscar isolates. He does.
He does. Well, yeah.
Hello, everybody. I forgot to do the welcome. I actually slipped and hit a button. I am representing the Honolulu Blue today. What?
Watch that pup.
Oh, yes. She's all right. I'm representing the Honolulu Blue today because this weekend is a cat fight between my Detroit Lions 1 and 3, and Chris Grawl, Mr. Happy, one of the secret agent. One of the secret agents who is a hapless fan of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 1 and 4. And the loser of the game has to buy the other person a bottle of whiskey.
I see you were gambling.
What do you mean?
Making a bet. A whiskey bet.
Yes. I get a whiskey bet. I get a lager
Carol.
bet.
Hey, Kenny. Hey, Lundy's. How are you?
All
Kim
right.
Hansen, always nice to see you out there. Joshua, good to see you out there. Ginny, good to see you out there. Allison, my love, good to see you.
Oh, you lovely, lovely people. Good evening. Let's take a quick look at what do we got here? It is a Siglocktail.
Yeah,
he makes
it is
these every week.
So there's a video on ScottSigler.com making a tequila sunrise. You guys, I got to be honest. Woo! I'm not a big fan of this. It's too sweet of a drink. I added a little more lime juice this time, and it only made it sweet and limey.
Dig the baseline.
Sean, I will tell you.
This is what A puts up every Monday, so you guys can
A.B. Sigler here,
make a drink with us and join us to get a little bit, enjoy it. Yes, Rich, no. Booze, we love booze. Go ahead, baby.
I was just going to say, who was I talking to right when this happened? I forget.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh,
all
Sean.
Right.
Sean asked if Honolulu Blue was the name of the color. And the reality is, I think...
Yes.
Is this a Honolulu Blue, though?
It's dicey. I'll explain this. This is how it works. Honolulu Blue is a trademarked color. Also, the Michigan State Police Blue is a trademarked color. They actually have however they figured that out, I don't know. But this Honolulu Blue is not the same Honolulu Blue it was when I was a kid and the Lions had their old cool uniforms. Back in the day when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had the creamsicle uniforms, the coolest thing in the world. Not that their new stuff isn't cool, but the other stuff was just way
Sandy,
better.
it's good to see you. I'm saying but Scott's second mom, Sandy Balzer, is in the chat room. I've adopted myself into her family as well.
I think we got to give her a little song, Sugar.
I mean, why not? Her birthday is tomorrow.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Second
Mama
Sandy
Balzer.
Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Well, we love you very much, Sandy.
If you come back on Saturday for Story Smack, guess what? We'll do it again.
Her birthday's actually Saturday. Yeah.
Speaking of Story Smack, that's called a segue. I went off script for an inline segue. You like that?
I do.
This Saturday at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT, we're going to be talking about the movie that won 4 Academy Awards. It is The French Connection. That's how I have to pronounce it. You know that?
French.
The French Connection.
Can I tell them about our recording day?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't even remember what the whole thing is. But there is we're recording the GFL 6 audiobook. And in the first chapter, there is a reference to, this is our International Grouch.
Yes, this is it's International Grouch Day. So I wanted you guys to see this is an International Grouch. Part Mexican, part American, all grouch. Okay. Go ahead.
There is a part where Scott has written in a very famous piece of art, of human art that exists today. And neither one of us. We're quite sure how to pronounce it because its name is French.
Grande tête mince.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say just in case.
Grande tête mince.
However,
Grandissimo.
then we looked it up and we still couldn't tell how to pronounce it. So then we looked up each individual word, and each individual word has several pronunciations. So we're just out of luck.
It was a lot for me to remember 3 words that are not American. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I grew up in Sheboygan, Michigan. Did not take any foreign language classes. I speak one language, but I speak it well.
So, Smorg, our tweet has not yet shown up. I will let you know when I get it. Although, Robin Taylor, I see you in the chat room, and I just got a postcard from overseas from you today. It took, I think it went to our P.O. box, and it took a little, it probably arrived before I got it. But we got it.
Tim Tharp says the GFL is girthy books. You're correct, Tim. Go to chat. Tim says we have girthy books. We most certainly do. We have the girthiest, most swollen, big like a pickle, turgid, veiny books out of anyone out there, any author in the world, except George R. Martin's got some. He's got some circumference to his books too.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about George R. R. Martin and
What's that?
is now we're about to put out a whole bunch of girth.
Yeah, a lot
that
of girth.
took less time. But the same sort of thing is happening, right? Remember that when he finally put out Song of Fire and Ice, or Fire and Ice and Ice and Fire, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
That a lot of people were like, "Yeah, you're bitching, but this is a 50 billion word book," and we're in that spot.
We are not quite to the elevated area of the amount of words that gentleman.
Jude, I
puts out
saw
in the
you
book,
come into the chat room. Hello, brother.
We have quite a show for you guys today. I was very tired before this turned on. I spent all day troubleshooting audio problems with Steve the Iceberg, Ricky Berg. We did not get any recording done on GFL Book 6, The Gangster, today because there was a small problem with the $1 million underground lair studio that is disguised to look like a garage. We had a small problem where some of the end of some words were getting cut off. We had to go troubleshoot that and track it down. But we got to figure it out, and tomorrow I am going to be just mellifluous. I will be spilling words into your face. Is what I will be doing.
That we should have spent more time working on the audio sound instead of the superfluous design to make it look like a garage?
No. That was a contractor. We contracted out the same people who built the island head in Austin Powers have been contracted to build Dr. Evil's head. They have also built my place. It's pretty great. We've got update, not above and beyond the one you just saw. We told you about our drink. We have got a special this day in Siglerism with a special tribute to Mr. Big John Viscara, provided by our staff photographer, Bruce Press. We have the Caddyshack versus the Karate Kid. We got the golf versus the kicking in the face. All of the kicking in the jaw and the face and the broken noses and the ankles and then sweep the leg. It is also National Hand Washing Day. I did wash my hands today. And you know what? I'm kind of bummed out. I didn't get a chance to knock out.
No.
It's National Cheese Curd Day. I don't have any
You know
cheese
what?
curds.
I actually, I had to go out of the house today.
Yeah.
And I actually looked around to see if there was a place I could buy cheese curds so that we could have cheese curds, and I couldn't find one.
I thought you were just about to say, like, honey, here's some cheese curds right here.
That was exactly
I carry them in
my
my
plan.
pocket, my cheese curds.
It was exactly my plan.
You know what this is? But this is the patriarchy. She would have brought me cheese curds in her pocket, but they don't make dresses with pockets all that often.
I am wearing a dress that has no pockets.
Yeah.
It has a nice neckline for my pretty necklace
It's-
that I got in Paris.
There's nothing she can do. It's beyond her control. If only the dress had some pockets. And hey, what's the deal with dresses not having any pockets? I wear pants. They got pockets.
Well, it's a whole system of oppression, I guess. I have 2 things from the chat room. Jason, I will give you the very quick rundown. We changed the publication date for the Gangster so that we could have another draft so that it was correct. Then coronavirus happened, and our print date got cut off because all the printers went home. All the people at the printer went home. And then about a month ago, the printer went completely out of business, and I had to start over. I, on Tuesday, signed a contract with a new printer. I am currently in the process of getting on the print schedule. What I know for sure is the print book cannot come out in 2020. I can't get on the actual big printers before 2020 is over. That said, we're currently recording the audiobook, and the ebook is in production. And as soon as the ebook is done, we will send it to anybody who has already purchased. You don't have to do anything. You just have to, we'll let you know when it's out. And when it is, you go to the same email address that you used to order the book, probably your internet email address, and it'll be there. And if you don't, then you can contact me at info@emptyset and we'll sort it out. And then as soon as we can actually physically get the book printed, hopefully early 2021, we will be working on all of them.
Fired out.
And sending them out. This has been a heck of a
year.
A heck of a year,
you guys.
And then somebody else. Oh, Rob asked, did the contractors install that shelf behind A as well?
Oh, no, he's talking about that shelf.
No, I think he's actually talking about this because that was there on Tuesday and this was not.
Oh, I see. This is actually, shelf of, go ahead, baby.
This is actually an AV cart.
Yeah.
You guys remember from junior high when they rolled in the TV because they didn't want to do their lesson plan? This is an AV cart that Scott found in one of his office buildings years ago.
Well, found in an office building is a bit of a claim. I was in an office in San Francisco that was, I believe it was, like 180 square feet divided into 4 rooms. It was a absolutely bizarro space. And there was an alley behind it. And I went back there and there was just a bunch of old ass rusty furniture that somebody had moved out and forgotten about. So this AV cart was a total ground score. I had to scrub it down and repaint it, be like a maker and do a bunch of stuff. But now I've had it for 15 years now.
The little mat there too.
Yes, it was nasty. It was nasty. But
yeah, so
couldn't
John,
afford a
you're
cart,
with
so
me.
I grabbed it.
You're with me. I was also, of course, an apple polisher and on the AV squad. And I was like, when I first saw this, I was like. And then he moved it with him from San Francisco to San Diego, and I was like, "Do you really need an AV card?" He's like, "Yeah, I just can't get rid of it."
AV squad.
Yeah.
Wow. Every time
Dude,
I worry about myself being
also
too much of a
in
nerd, I get to pass it over to A and realize I'm not that much of a nerd.
So my brother's name is Jude. He's in the chat room. Most of you guys know this, but in case some folks are new and you don't, my brother just said I was in AV at Isaac J. Young, which was our junior high school, and I didn't know that, Jude. I was also on the AV squad at Isaac E. Young. It was Isaac E. Young.
Isaac. He's that kind of guy.
That guy.
So let's go back to this real quick. Guys, we are in the final stretch of the Nocturnal Throwback, the podcast where we repodcast the original Nocturnal novel, that first draft, which I wrote a chapter a week, recorded a chapter a week, edited it, put it out every Sunday. And that is part of what went on to allow me to hire people to build buildings in the shape of my big bald head. Episode 36 just posted. Coming up, episode 37, 37, 38, 39, 40. Sorry, I threw the shocker by accident. Episode 40, it's done. Episode 41 will be the Q&A episode. So, if you have a question about Nocturnal Throwback, the other Nocturnal, you got a question about the Siglerverse, how Nocturnal ties in, what's going on with it, etc., you can send that question, email it to info@emptyset. If you want to send us audio and hear your own voice, yes, there it is.
Info@emptyset.
We'll show it when it's bigger. Oh, yeah. You can email an MP3 of 20 seconds or less to info@emptyset. And then if you are so bold, so crazy bold, that you wish to send us a cell phone video shot in vertical, don't be a video editor, don't do anything fancy, 20 seconds or less, shoot the question on your video phone, the video phones that the kids have. Send that video to info@emptyset.com. And we will strive to get that question on live so you can see yourself ask the question, and then you can watch me pause it and pretend to pick your nose, like on the screen. And maybe draw pictures on your face. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But that is coming up in 5 weeks. So get that stuff in. Sooner is better than later. Now let's look at the info@emptyset. Wait.
Let's go to the video.
There it is. Info@emptyset.
There it is. We gotta move the Funkos because the Funkos mess up the white
Ripley,
balance.
Jason Voorhees, and a White Walker. That's everybody right there.
Can see that, Scott Sigler.
Okay, well, anyways. Back to the main camera. All right.
Apparently we have another Sigleration because the Vidrich Harris's son is coming home tomorrow. Oh, no, tonight for a visit. Yay!
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home. Tonight, I'm on my way.
Oh, geez, does anybody have a lighter?
It's my favorite cruise song. I'm sorry. Yeah. Kickstart My Heart's pretty goddamn good, though, too.
I'm not going to kickstart anything.
Well, hopefully I will not overdose on 8 balls, and she will not have to give me an adrenaline shot. You got to get right. You got to get right through the breastplate.
I mean, we know that this
You want me
is
to
not a
stab her?
thing.
No, you got to bring it down in a downward motion. All right, here we go. Now, you know what it is? You know what it is?
I do not, other than beautiful.
Speaking of beautiful, you guys, it's been a hard week.
Hey,
I know it's been a hard week.
Before
for
you
all
begin,
Yeah.
we love Tim. You tell Noisy we love her too. We love you both and the dogs.
Yes. Speaking of dogs, speaking of you having a heart, can I have some blues music, please? Just. You say you've been having a hard week. I know you've been having it because I had it too. That's why I brought you pictures of the pup date to put your blues down. Okay, that didn't work out, but here we go. Today's pup date. You put a hole in a box. You put your dog in a box. And you know what you got? You got a dog in a box.
Oh.
Got a dog in a box.
Oh, that poor little Squeaky McGeeks. That was such a sad day, you guys.
She was, she did something wrong. She go into penalty box and she feels shame for what she has done. And she is alone for a while. Then alarm go and she get out,
That actually was the first day of us moving out of the Office of Doom. And, of course, the pups came with us that day. And I don't think we brought them back again because they were not pleased.
Yeah.
We were not pleased either. Let's be fair. It was a really, really rough day, but I was like, and he was like, can you put together a handful of boxes? Like we were trying to get ready for the movers to come because we had to be socially distanced once the movers did come, but I couldn't help it. I was putting together a whole bunch of boxes and then I had to put her in a box.
Yes. And we once advertised for stamps.com. So I mailed her and it was a very affordable rate.
I have no idea where that picture from with Reese is from, but I assume a hotel somewhere.
She's high again. This is my dog apparently consumes all the weed.
No, she's just so laid back. She's so laid back. Steve, I'm with you, dude. R.I.P. the Lair of Doom. I had to go down to the office today to pick up leftover mail, and it was, I thought it was going to be fun and comforting, and it was just heartbreaking. I met the gentleman who now occupies the space that was once the Lair of Doom, and
It's a shame. It's a damn shame.
And he doesn't even seem like he looks like he likes football.
It's preposterous. Oh, we've got a special thing today.
Oh,
A special little thing today. Hold on.
This day in Siglerism.
This day in Siglerism is very interesting, but the gentleman who prepares this, for some reason, my cookies, my cookies, my cookies, are not working, so we're going to have to go here. We've got October 15th, episode number 1 of Alone, which was an unabridged free audiobook, was released in the podcast feed. Episode number 1 of the MVP was released back in 2012. And who do we have to thank for all of this loveliness over in Siglerpedia? None other than Big John Descara, number 24. Number 24 for the Ionath Krakens. Hi,
I love it.
John, and Siglerpedia is awesome! It's a little gift made by none other than Bruce Press.
If you don't know, we are so lucky to have such great secret agents. John is among them. So is Bruce. But this is an amazing gift.
If you guys want to know, yes, great. If you guys want to know stuff about what's going this is all story content. So if you're reading the GFL and you can't quite remember a team, a name, or what Sklorno looked like or Key looked like, want to know how to spell stuff, etc., what are all the connections between the books? What's the timeline? What is the Siglerverse overarching timeline and how all the books tie together? You can go to siglerpedia.scottsigler.com or go to scottsigler.com, click on Siglerpedia, and you can see the lovely work of Mr. John Vizcara. And
Spike,
Carmen,
it's so good
Carmen
to
J.
see you.
Wellman. Many others too, but primarily Carmen and John. Hey, Spike.
Spike, it's really nice to see you. We don't get to see you all the time. I know we conflict a lot with your job. And boss, I see you out there. Nice to see you, Jen. We are, what's next? So we have...
what's next is our sponsor. I was thinking about this, baby. We always do a sponsor, which is a charity, some organization in need. We donate to them every week. But I think as we get near the books, we're going to start rolling our own asses in.
I mean, I think we can certainly do
let
that
people
too.
know we got
because
for sale the wares.
We have too, because you've done, vote.org and stuff.
Yeah.
We also have, I'm trying to make this so that everybody who has a little bit of extra bandwidth to donate, they also can take a tax break for that. I try to always make it a 501c3. and super easy to donate. So I've been going through that a lot this week to try and because lots of people have recommended things that are lovely but are sort of difficult to easily donate to, and that turns off internet folks who don't know anything about your organization. They just know about Scott, and they're like, oh, if he likes it, I like it, I'll do it too. But anyway, this week we decided while I'm overhauling that to go with the COVID-19 Response Fund. This is a response fund set up and managed by the World Health Organization, and it touches every country battling COVID right now in every facet. It helps emergency responders pay for things that they have trouble paying for because of their increased workload or trouble getting to because of their increased workload. It helps with, if you're stuck at home, it helps with people who are sick. It helps with people who are working to take care of the sick. It helps for people who are unhomed and need support that they don't have because nobody's going out of the house anymore, things like that.
Yep.
And it's in every single country that has been affected by COVID.
I would also like to point out we made a donation of, I believe, let's go back for 1 second. Our donation today was $164 million. We did a great job, but we did not, of course, we didn't donate under our own name because who needs that kind of hassle? I need people knowing I got 164 mil laying around in my dome shape, my head shape thing. I donated as Alexander's Wang, and it worked out pretty well for me. So there you go. So that's where we're at. All right, so that is the ad for the week. Going back to the main, I'm going to be talking about my Alexander Wang for quite some time. I call him Alexander the Great.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was coming, but I'm now absolutely assured he did that entire thing so he could make that Alexander the Great joke. And look at him, he's so pleased.
Alexander the Great. He's great. All right, and now we'll throw this out there since we've got the time. Let's do this real quick. Shut up, bang. There we go. Text me. Bitches, throw me a text. It's an automated text system. We don't always answer it. We're not going to reply. You will get 2 automated replies to this, though, and I will use this text to let you know when new podcast episodes come up. When SIGLERinPLACEs are about to go, it's about to go down. When things are about to go down and any news in the world of Siglerism, don't cost you nothing. Throw it in there. It's going to be fine. Everybody's going to love it. Don't worry about it. One thing. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. Going back to Maine. Let's see. Where are we at? And now, you know what time it is? You know what time
No, I don't.
You know what time it is.
I mean, I just said I didn't. Is it, wait, hang on. Is it 6:13? Nope. It's 6:23.
Let's do this real quick.
It's time for the second and last semifinal in the Jersey mode. The entire mode full of sports movies. And we're going to get it on tonight with our great Alexander Wang. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we have, this is the path of most resistance. The path that people have followed, movies have followed to get to the finals.
I like that you have the Grouch in there.
It's International Grouch Day.
It is.
And I don't have any gifts this week, so what am I going to do? What's a brother going to do? You know, what's brother going to do?
I mean, make it.
I can make a GIF. This is how people got to the finals. This is how we got Caddyshack and the Karate Kid today. Over on the other side of the bracket, you can see Field of Dreams defeated Hoosiers, a 2 upsetting a 1 seed, and then itself was defeated by Rocky, which was a 1 seed and defeated Any Given Sunday. And Rocky is waiting in the finals, being all sweaty, greasing himself down, not eating any food, not drinking any water, doing a lot of jumping jacks and jump rope, I think.
I mean, I am uncomfortable talking about any of this.
He's pounding his heavy bag, is what he's doing.
Does anybody actually admit to greasing themselves down?
Oh, yeah, I think so, yeah. Dude, they facialize them with Vaseline before every fight. It's kind of gross.
So I actually have a question, because I watched that 1,000 times, and I have always assumed that the reason they do that is so that the gloves or the knuckle gloves or whatever just slide off. But I've just assumed that. Is there a reason that they Vaseline up their faces?
Yes, skin care is a very important part of anyone's health regimen.
Come on, you're fucking with me. Tip jar. Damn it.
You need your emollients in your face. You know what? You're going to have that face for the rest of your life. Don't you want it to look as good as it can look?
It's emollient.
I call it the emoluments face. That's what it is. It's the emoluments. You can spend your own money. Yes, Alan, Rocky is pounding the heavy bag.
So we're not going to actually answer me. Is that why they do it?
I believe they do it. You can't have too much on because that gets greasy. It gets all greasy, and then it's a whole different game. It's a whole different game at that point.
Oh, for sure. It's still fun, though.
It is.
I believe.
I believe softening up the skin a little bit helps keep from getting cut as easily.
I see. So I always figured it was maybe like, because of course it is viscous. So you're like if
you need some level of viscosity,
right, and that would help my hand slide and be less injurious.
It stops you from skin from tearing.
Right. And also it would be it's also waterproof, so it would be a sweat barrier too. So sweat doesn't get in. So because I know they do it here and they do it here. Yep. Like here and here. And I always wonder. Yeah, I don't know.
We have any boxers in
Gosh, if only we had all the power of the internet.
Well, I tell you what happens is actually when fighters come out and touch gloves, this is little known. You don't see it because they don't move their mouth very much. But the fighter in the red corner says, your skin looks very soft. And the fighter in the blue corner says, thank you, so does yours. And the fighter in the red corner says, thank you, that's very kind of you to say. And then they go back and then they beat the shit out of each other.
So like at the preliminary weigh-in, do they share like sunblock tips and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're like, this is the number 5 dye up in my eyebrows right here. It's fabulous. Yeah, they go through all their skincare tips. And then when the camera turns on, then they're like, I'm going to murder you and eat all your babies. And then I'm going to crap out you eating babies and make you eat your crap babies. That's what's going to happen to you in the ring. Camera goes off like, I got a new conditioner.
But I also think you need to put money in the tip jar about eating babies. Come on.
Gonna make you eat your own crap babies.
Plus, John Vizcarra added to the chat room that it stops the skin from tearing when scraped by a glove, and I believe everything John says because he's the smartest person I know. So there you go.
John is the one source of truth and wisdom in the world of Siglerism.
At least in the Siglerverse.
Actually, I'm the one source of lies in the Siglerverse. Everybody else is pretty much truth and wisdom across law and order. Law and order. All right, here we go. Let's get back to it. Boop, boop, boop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite moment of the night. Maria D'Souza says, it's true, boxing is a very flirty sport. Look, Maria, here's the thing. If I'm going to spend, 3-minute rounds, 15 of those, baby, how much time is that? 45 minutes?
Sure.
If I'm going to spend 45 minutes inside of an area that's roped off with velvety ropes, and I has stripped down to my shorts and some rather fetching shoes. There might be tassels. There might not. We're not sure.
Like this is going to go south
soon. You can't tell me there's not some degree of flirtiness in that. Your bodies get all oiled down. People rubbing all the Vaseline upon your face. You're complimenting each other's skincare regimen and getting your emoluments clauses all over your face. You can't tell me. You don't look across the ring like, you know what? I see you've been putting time in the gym and it paid off. You look good. You look good. You
Nothing called an emollient clause. That's not a thing. I mean, it might as well be, but it's not a thing.
Maria coined that phrase. It is a thing now. Here we go. Let's get back. Oh, we're going back to the, oh God. Here we go. Here we go. It's time for the bracket. It is time for my 4th ring walk-up. For 3rd ring walk-up for each of these movies. They've each won 3 fights. And here we go. This is spontaneous. This is improv. And I'm not very good at it, but I pretend like I am. And I find that when you're not good at something, if you deliver it with an enormous amount of volume, people are kind of scared into thinking, oh, he must be good at that. He's very loud. That has gotten me so far in life when I'm not really all that good at anything. Here we go.
In the right corner, a man who clearly has taken care of his skincare and takes his face seriously. On the left of the right poster, he is 143 years old. He doesn't look a day over 60 because he knows about the emoluments clause of his face. And looking straight deep into his eyes and probably all greased up with Vaseline and wearing nothing but shorts, staring vacantly and vapidly into the middle distance, it is Ralph Macchio. He is the number 1 seed, hailing out of the South bracket. It is the Karate Kid. And his opponent, with 4 men on the front cover, 3 of which clearly do not have a proper skincare regimen. Except for Chevy Chase, front, center, and in the middle, who has a lot of lotions, potions, and oceans going for him because they're all extremely rich. It is Some People Just Don't Belong. Hold on a second. Is the clubhouse on fire? No, that's a squirrel. That's a giant smoke squirrel. There's a giant smoke squirrel in the background. What the fuck is going on? I have seen this movie 50 times and never noticed the giant goddamn smoke squirrel about to pounce like Cthulhu and stuff you in his nuts like his mouth like imaginary nuts. Oh my God, it is the 19th hole. It is Caddyshack.
I think we have to discuss the Cthulhu squirrel in the background of this. The smoke Cthulhu squirrel right above the clubhouse. I never noticed this before. Did you? All right, let's take a look.
I have no idea if that was the best ring walk-up I have ever heard, but can we make the picture bigger of the Caddyshack?
Can we make it bigger? Oh, yeah.
Oh, Lord,
we got skincare, lotions, and potions.
Did say the
that
picture.
is holy shit, you guys. If you guys did not notice this,
that is a Cthulhu squirrel.
Admit it in the comments right now. There is a smoke Cthulhu squirrel monster about to rip the roof off of that sucker, go in and start eating golfers as if he was one of the old ones.
To be fair, Nelson is right.
What?
That's not a squirrel.
That's a squirrel.
I mean, it's probably...
Oh, it's a gopher.
Yeah,
Nelson,
it is probably not in Caddyshack a squirrel.
Fair. Well, to be factual, Nelson, when the old ones first formed out of the cosmic mythos and all the particles came together to accrete into a creature that had all the power of the world, there were no gophers at that time. There were only squirrels. And if you look very closely at a gopher, it looks a lot like a squirrel that is made out of smoke and spray painted tan or brown. So I think that's where we're at with this. Well, all right. So I now, as far as I know, the Cthulhu Gibberdishing monster is going to come out of the corner and is going to swallow all our souls. We will die in the mouth of madness.
I mean, good news. I'm protected by the AV cart, so it's going to come out of the corner, but it's not going to get me.
It's a fact that AV carts have stopped evil for many, 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 since the days of mimeographs. As a matter of fact, did you know that?
I did not, but I do love the way mimeographs smell.
The problem was it was really difficult to make a mimeograph of your buttocks. And that is why the Xerox company wound up making all the money.
It sort of depends. If you were a small person, you could sit on the glass. Oh, no, not the mimeograph.
Well, you could roll it on ink rollers, though.
I've made butt prints before. What are you talking about?
I will tell. Okay, we're gonna go to the semifinal match in a second, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tell an embarrassing story.
Okay, good, because I was making up the butt mimeograph.
So it was, I believe what is that called when enough time has passed and they can't prosecute you anymore?
The statute of limitations.
Statute of limitations has worn out.
I'm uncomfortable already. Hey.
So it was the last day of college for me. And I was at the Kappa Sig house hanging out with Scott Christian, good old Scott Christian, who now is an educator of young minds, which is to this day, a terrifying concept. And we were walking around the campus. There may have been alcohol involved. I can't say for certain. We may have been coming back from a Bible study course. I can't say for certain. And we walk by the Welcome to Olivet College sign. And the construction crews were apparently trimming the stone, the gray stone underneath, that held the flat white Welcome to Olivet College sign. Welcome to Olivet College, done in red and black, the school colors. They had left, yes ma'am.
Your school is called Olivet.
Olivet.
When you run it all together, it sounds like Olive College.
Oh, well, Olivet, Gentil Olivet College. And the maintenance crew had made the cardinal error of leaving a gallon of paint, a paint roller, and a roller pan in a college town on the last day of college. I felt it was my obligation to politely instruct them that perhaps they should have taken better care of their gear. So I got some paint in the paint tray.
Roller, yeah.
Took the paint roller, tossed down my drawers, painted my butt.
Who does that? Who paints their own ass?
Planted my butt right on Welcome to Olivet College. So my butt cheeks were there. And I I was very impressed with myself. I thought it was very funny. I thought, they would just paint over it the next day. No big deal, right? I came back 6 years later. Six years
when
later.
You were...
What?
Was that the year that you had the parade and everything?
No. That was later.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yes, I'm a distinguished alumni of the school in which I painted my butt and put it up against the sign. I come back 6 years later. I threw that up there. I was 21, I think, and it was all silliness. I come back and I'm 27. I'm an esteemed, established gentleman of the world. I'm an established gentleman is what I am. Mm-hmm. An established gentleman. Driving to town. First time I'm back in a long while, and there's my gray butt cheeks still on the Welcome to Olivet College sign. So basically, it was Welcome to Olivet College and Scott's gray butt cheeks. That's an embarrassing story that I share with all of you.
There are so many things you don't have to say out loud that you just say out loud.
Let's go back to the match. Oh.
Let's go back to the crazy G-smote.
That squirrel is pissed off. Let me catch up, people. Here we go. Hold on. All right, let's go. We've got the scores. It was a hell of a bout. One hell of a bout.
One hell of a bout.
We had a hell of a contest between two teams who really came ready to play. Their great Caddyshack, finishing up on the 19th hole. They may have had a couple of drinks, may have fallen all about themselves. As possible vomit all over Ty. I can't say for sure. And then over to the other side, we got Karate Kid. Got kicked in the knee, got kicked in the nuts. He took that like a champ, though. He walked around, barely even holding his own sack. It was quite impressive.
Do you want to hear any weirdo
yes.
fact? Yeah, because I've got a couple. You say, they were barely holding it together. But I'll tell you, there's two things about Caddyshack that I had to look for the 50th time, look for fun facts, and I found two very cool ones. One, apparently everybody was high. Everybody was on coke. Everybody was on coke. So there's a book that came out about the making of Caddyshack, one of the actors in Caddyshack, and he describes his 11 weeks on set as a permanent party. Instead of responsible producers making sure everybody played by the rules, he led the charge, and much of the cast and crew did a whole bunch of coke. The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. Get your per diems in cash. The dealer is here was a common refrain when the dealer showed up, which I kind of love because then if you watch it from of course. I mean, of course it was a different time, but also if you watch it from there, that says a whole lot. And then the other thing, which I crazy love because of how Bill Murray evolved.
Yeah.
Back in the day when he's filming Caddyshack, everybody called him a magnificent flake.
A magnificent flake.
Which is sort of who he is today. He's remained consistent this whole time. He'll still show up at a hotel and there's a wedding and he'll go to the wedding and take photos.
You know what he is now?
A zombie.
He's an established gentleman.
Oh, Lord. So the note I have here is Murray has countless urban legends to his name, but his legendary status started even before his Caddyshack days. He was shooting the Hunter S. Thompson movie Where the Buffalo Roam in the summer of 1979 and was due back in New York for SNL in the fall. Mm-hmm. So Harold Ramis had him for just 6 days for Caddyshack.
Oh, my God. You're kidding me.
Yeah.
They did all that in 6 days?
But Bill Murray never made it clear when he'd show up on set. As far as Ramis knew, he was MIA. So it turns out Murray had commandeered Lorne Michaels' VW Bug and had driven it everywhere from Los Angeles to Florida to Aspen and took it upon himself to install a stereo along the way. When he finally arrived on set, he rolled up in a golf cart and said, "Which way to the youth hostel?" Probably, maybe there was, I don't know if there was cocaine, maybe cocaine. The following morning, Murray and actress Cindy Morgan, who played Lacey Underall in the film, woke up together nude on a beach in Jupiter, Florida, after the two had just met.
This is the thing. Are you saying Bill Murray banged Lacey Underalls?
No, they're not saying that. They're just saying.
They're not saying it.
Well, exactly. I am going to assume that back in the day where you could do coke on set and steal your producer's car for 6 days, that you also were a gentleman who doesn't kiss and tell.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently, both of them got to have a grand old time. You know what they did?
No, I don't.
I'll tell you what they did.
Okay.
They both put on some really fetching shoes, stripped down to their shorts, which may or may not have had tassels, and they both complimented each other on their skincare regimen. That's what they did.
I mean, maybe not the shoes, though, because they were on a beach.
Okay.
So I feel like
Can you have fetching flip-flops? Is that a thing?
I mean, if they have rhinestones on them, I
Maria,
they would
that's
be
our new
fetching.
company, Fetching Flip Flops, the 3F company. We have open toes that go all the way to the ankle. What? That's our whole ad campaign right there. coined that phrase. All right. What do you got? What do you got for me in the other one?
Oh, for the other
you got
one.
more
okay.
of these?
No, I have one, but I feel bad because I love Harold Ramis, but I also love this little fun fact, so I'm going to read it.
Okay.
It became clear fairly quickly that Ramis was out of his depth in editing Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
He had come from an improv background and used a yes and mentality during filming, but then he struggled to find a connective thread for the countless scenes of his actors just riffing and being goofy. The first cut of Caddyshack clocked in at 4.5 hours.
Is that available anywhere?
No, because it was a mess. According to Harold Ramis himself, he says it was a total mess.
Wow.
So
That'd be great.
at that point, they brought in several different editors to look at the footage and try and salvage it in their own ways, independent of each other. And it was executive producer John Peters, super made guy in Hollywood, who suggests that the gopher, only seen sparingly at first in the first cut, could be the thing that tied everything together. They were forced to go back to the studio and ask for $500,000, $500,000 to build an animatronic gopher, and in the process,
You're kidding me.
and in the process, cut out the romantic subplots of several of the younger actors in the show.
$500,000 for a fucking hand puppet? I'll pay the fee. I'll pay the. Are
I mean, I think it was doing all the shooting and
It's like
injecting.
back then. That's like $72 million today.
Well, I mean, but it wasn't. I don't think they paid $500,000 for the gopher. I think they
Oh.
paid $500,000
Oh.
for the scenes of the
Shoot.
gopher doing
Okay,
the thing. Yeah.
That's a little bit better. How's the
When
gopher?
Kenny Loggins saw the gopher dance, the theme song he wrote should have been a clue that everything with Caddyshack would be just fine. I'm all right. Nobody worry about me.
You got to give me a sign.
I crazy love that. I wish I was a grown up in the 70s. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It seems like that was a very fun time.
And I just saw at the bottom of this, there was an ad for another article about movies where people wake up repeat the same day all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Murray had his gopher in Caddyshack. Bill Murray had his gopher in Groundhog Day.
I mean, I think that was a groundhog.
They couldn't afford a groundhog. It's a fact. You know why?
It's called Groundhog
Because
Day.
it got eaten by a Cthulhu squirrel. A Cthulhu smoked squirrel.
Puxatawny Phil.
Okay. What do you
Okay.
got? Let's get the other one.
I only have one that's worth saying. Really, one that's worth saying because people talk about it all the time. For the Karate Kid.
Okay.
And that we have on tape, on record, Ralph Macchio saying he understands that Danny LaRusso would have been disqualified for that illegal kick.
I also believe firmly that Ralph Macchio and who played Mr. Miyagi again?
Pat Morita.
Pat Morita and Ralph Macchio on coke the whole movie. Coked to the gills. You can't paint a fence all night long unless you're just riding that is white pony coke? I forget. I tried to be cool. And
I mean, I have
out.
no idea. I'm the squarest
Is
person
white horse
you
or
know.
white pony white
I'm quite
powder?
literally the squarest person you know. I have no idea.
Okay.
You know this about me.
Well,
I don't know.
You kids insert your slang for cocaine here. Let's call it white M&Ms. Ralph Macchio was pounding those white M&Ms all the time. You know what I'm saying? All the time. So that's the one that they were high on coke the whole thing. I like it.
No,
Ralph Macchio.
no. This is how it is every moment of every day in this house. But I do love this because when Ralph Macchio said that, where he was like, "Yeah, of course, face kicks are illegal." What are you talking? Yes, of course, that's illegal.
Yeah.
Like when he did
Yeah.
that was at the Cobra Kai premiere, which I crazy love,
Booger
right?
Sugar. Thanks, Nick. Booger Sugar. You know what though? This is a good point. Because sweep the leg. That got illegal disqualified points removed, deducted. Mm-hmm. It did.
But
deducted.
he's not allowed to kick an opponent in the face, is he?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
why the fix was in. Do you know why the fix was in?
I mean, because he was the star of the
Because
movie.
Danny LaRusso slipped the ref a nice dime bag of coke. Does coke come in dime bags?
I
guys-
assume so.
You guys, this coke.
I mean, isn't
you may think I'm coked out right now. This is just normal.
So I love this because you're not sure if it's white pony or white horse.
No.
And then in the chat room, competing comments come in at the same time. It's white pony for sure. It's white horse for sure. Yeah.
I know that you can
I feel like we should go with booger sugar.
you can chase the white dragon, but now for me, from now on, I believe that all of the drugs.
Is it gopher white?
No, that's good. Go for white's good. I'm gonna go with smoke Cthulhu squirrel. I'm gonna go have some smoked Cthulhu squirrel. I'm gonna get we can get Snoop Dogg to say it. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, man, I'm gonna go have some smoked Cthulhu squirrel late, baby. And, that'd be great. It was a terrible Snoop impression. Terrible. Let's get down to Let's get down to the score.
If you add the Snoop Shuffle, it'll be better.
Yeah, Maria says the idea of Sigler and Coke can be terrifying. I agree. I that is why that has never happened, and that ain't never gonna happen. Not one time. No matter how nice your skincare is or your Emoluments Clause face is, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a split decision in one of the closest matches in the history of the Drews Boat. We have the judge from Topeka scores it 52 to 45. The judge from the Maldives scores it 50 to 47. And the judge from the smallest island in the Aleutian chain scores it 52-45 for the winner. And moving on to the title match against Rocky himself, it is a giant smoked squirrel Cthulhu monster, coked out to the gills on the white pony, and the white dragon, and the white horse, and the white gopher. It is Caddyshack! Woo-hoo!
Here's the thing, you guys. This was interesting because a lot of times it's really, really clear all the way along what is probably going to win. But this one flip-flopped.
It did.
By more than 10 votes over and over and over. It went Caddyshack really, really high.
Flippity-floppity.
Yeah. Then literally like when Caddyshack was clearly winning like 25-3, then there was like 20 in a row that was just Karate Kid. It was really interesting.
Okay. So this, we'll see if this impacts. I forgot we've got a leaderboard, you guys. Game of Mao. Number one, we have not updated this for tonight's match, which we were about to do to close things out. Drew's best guess. Drew came out of nowhere. He also delivered the referee a big 8-ounce 16 bag of
white
Coke,
gopher.
Of white gopher. He delivered a 16 bag
Let's dance.
of white gopher. I gotta brush up on my drug comments. I don't know what this is.
I really feel like you don't.
And Gizmo Lagower is still in there. If Karate Kid lost. Oh, this is gonna be big. Let's see what happens.
Game of Mao.
Let's see what.
Game of Mao definitely might take first and second.
How can Game of Mao take first and second?
I mean, I was just making a joke.
Oh, that was okay.
It was a bad joke. Yes, you're right.
Listen,
you realized you couldn't say that was a bad joke to your wife.
When I am busy making jokes about how I don't know anything about the drug game, you are not allowed to make jokes that you know anything about the sports game because I know the sports game.
Gotcha.
Does that work?
Sure.
Okay, why not? Here we go. Caddyshack. Well, we're gonna put in
Dan
the scores.
Baker says 16 ounces of Coke is quite a lot of Coke, yo.
Is it?
I mean, I feel like if it's cocaine, that's a yes.
What if it's metric ounces, Dan?
Technically
It's
speaking,
metric ounces. That's only like a quarter the size.
I mean, to be fair, if it's cocaine, you measure it in grams. So any ounce is a goodly amount of cocaine.
I don't know how that works at all. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is our final four. Obviously, Rocky dropped a whole emolument Vaseline on the face of Field of Dreams. And now we're going to see, and then we got Caddyshack, who busted out the driver and smacked the balls of the Karate Kid.
Mm-hmm.
The nits, smacked those Karate Kid balls. And now we've got our finalists. Let's take a look. We're going to be set up this Tuesday. We're going to settle this once and for all. Here we go. Update. Where are we at?
Game of
Mao.
Lacey Underalls for the win.
Lacey
Jumped
Underalls
right up.
out of nowhere comes into Lacey Underalls comes out of nowhere into second place. You know, she's been an underdog this entire time. She's been on the side. She's been over to Ty's place, tied up with a couple of ties. Apparently, she got loose, which we didn't know that was going to happen. But here we go, and we shall see. Jumps into third
right
place.
Back in.
Danny the Dolphin, who's got very smooth dolphin skin all the way from the nose down to the tail. And Chevy wins it all. Let's see. So now the things have changed dramatically. Ladies and gentlemen, Game of Mao. If Rocky wins on Tuesday, Game of Mao takes it all. If Caddyshack wins, Lacey Underalls comes out of nowhere and will take the whole thing. We shall see is in third place. but has Field of Dreams winning it. So we shall see. Might still get that $15 out of that. And Danny the Dolphin also with Caddyshack. A Caddyshack win is probably going to put Lacey Underalls in first place, then the Dolphin in second, and it looks like Chevy Wins It All might take third. It's all on the line. It's the stakes are very high. It's several grams ounces of cocaine on the line.
That is not how grams and ounces work. You don't just get to say like gram ounces.
Howard served me up the softball that I missed. It's a Cinderella story. Lacey Underalls. She's on the back nine.
We don't even know if it's a girl.
She was tied up off the 19th hole.
Yeah.
She was tied up with a lot of ties. And there she is. She's getting ready to take a shot. And we'll see Tuesday. We'll see if it's in the hole. It's in the hole.
I have a terrible dolphin impression, but I'm quite proud of it. Only because it's the same exact impression.
Let's go to the A-cam then, please.
It's the same exact impression when I try and imitate a chicken without this. It's still, it's still sort of the same.
I can't do a dolphin impression. I thought I could bust one out and be cool, do dolphin impression. But if I was cool enough to do dolphin impression, I clearly would have been working the AV cart back in the
Nelson,
day.
thank you for checking,
cool.
but I'm
Not
okay.
cool.
Sometimes today was a very busy day.
Rob
so,
Rob asked a very good question. How much is the championship game worth? The answer, Rob, I don't know. I have
you do, $50.
No. The scores jump up with each round. So when you get a first round, that's a certain number of points. Second round is another number of points.
Oh, the points. I thought you meant the prize. Sorry.
Yeah. So one of these lovely people is going to win. I already forgot the prize.
$50.
$50 from ScottSigler.com/store. Second place, $35. ScottSigler.com/store. And third place, $25.
Whatever. I think. Yeah. Let's say 25. If it
25,
was 15,
holla.
let's just do it 25.
25 holla. No score. We got to post it somewhere.
And there is a discussion currently going on in the chat room about what would happen. There is no known legal dose of LSD. There is also known, as far as I know, no known legal dose of THC, which is the active psychotropic ingredient in marijuana.
How do we start talking about acid?
Sean said, Sean Dyer said, fun fact, there's no known legal dose of LSD.
Doesn't sound fun.
I mean, but for me, I'm a medicinal chemist. Like, this is what I studied in school. And so those two are, both of those things are true. That does not mean that they're not deadly. But killing you by taking LSD or killing you by taking a lethal dose of THC, that is almost unheard of. By taking so much that you lose yourself, you tend to, walk into traffic because you think you can walk on water or things like that. So it's very deadly to OD on those things.
Would you say you wreck yourself when you do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the drug itself does not.
Yes.
Which I find very fascinating. But I do believe you're right. Like you would have, I'm not sure because you would have lots of trouble. You may not make it through okay because you lose your executive function. So you think you can walk on the cars on a highway. That's what your executive function tells you. However, you mentioned that you might have permanent psychological effects, and there are actual studies going on with psychotropic mushrooms because they reset the brain. And they're very interesting for a person like me. They're very, very early stages, but like psychotropic mushrooms are a thing that is being studied by people who are doing a study authorized by the FDA to help reset brain function. And that is actually a very positive thing so far. It's very early, but it's very good so far.
Can I say what popped into my head, which you probably will not be happy with?
I mean,
because you're just laying down some serious scientific shit.
I mean, I'm just saying,
Serious
as a
scientific
chemist,
shit.
as a chemist who deals with how drugs work in the body, that's a very exciting thing. To be able to sort of take psychotropic mushrooms and make them useful for mental health issues is very exciting. That said, yes, you can.
Oh, I can't ask a question.
Of course, I just had to say my piece first. Because he's going to shit all over it, I think.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Because when you said, mushrooms reset the brain, I'm like, does that mean you poop and pee all over yourself right away? Because you just reset, clear out the system. It's all done. You're like, I'm going to take a mushroom. And then you're refreshed from top to bottom.
I totally love that.
It's a soul poop. It's a soul poop.
I totally love that he thinks that the only way for his brain to be clear is for him to poop.
I do poop a lot, to be fair.
To be fair, we already have the license. We're technically married.
I didn't tell her I painted my ass and put it on a sign until after we was married. Because, that might, to be fair, that might make a girl second guess a couple things. Be a little introspective. Think about what's going to happen with your whole life.
And Tim Thorpe, dude, 2020 and everyone alive in it should take some mushrooms.
Oh, I will never. Not one time. I watched.
I agree with you. And that said, if everyone on Earth in 2020 was going to take mushrooms at once, I'd be willing to see where we wake up.
I can barely get through the day without seeing different stories and concoctions and things and all the things with the stories and the monsters all over the place all the time. When I was in college at Olive College. The College of Olives. My fraternity brother, PJ, did the shrooms. And with no shrooms, watched PJ have a 45-minute conversation with a pine tree. And it was and then I talked to him about it after. I'm like, PJ, I watched you have a conversation with a tree. I mean, if we need an intervention. He's like, and he was like, no, man,
Tim Thorpe wants to know if he shit himself.
I don't know. I didn't smell it. He may have later because he reset his brain. But he said the tree had a mouth and a nose and was talking to him. And I believe him because this was a look on PJ's face. Of course he had a drink. It was college. He's like, just a shot. He's like, that tree has a mouth and a face. What are we hitting with the clickies?
Did you hear the clicks too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yes. Okay.
Sorry about that, you guys.
All right.
Yeah. No, Dawn. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. There is in my limited access and limited knowledge, this is worthwhile. This is good. There are people who have intractable issues in their noggins, and this may or may not help kind of make them less intractable.
Is this the internet router of the brain? Do you turn it off, turn it back on again, that kind of a thing?
Well, no, that is probably a ketamine coma, which I don't think anybody should do.
It does not sound fun.
No.
I don't like the sound of that.
But yeah, there's a lot of ways to do this. And, this is exactly for the physicality for the body. This is sort of the thing that a medically induced coma does, right? Like shut down your body system so that we can better manage them, kind of thing.
Okay.
Also, I love this. Dan Baker in the chat room is all like, no, you are definitely married. I was there. No, we're only married because you did it. So yes.
Dr. Daniel Baker, PhD, performed the ceremony, which was not done at the College of Olives, nor was it done with a giant smoke Cthulhu squirrel.
So I have a question, Scott.
Yes.
Do you think that we can ever, maybe post a picture of what happened to Squeaky?
Oh my God!
One
yes.
time?
We posted a picture of Reese looking real high. We have pictures of Squeaks being real high.
The reason I ask that is Kim Hansen just posted in the chat room a very important point. She said when dogs take too much weed, if they happen to eat weed, if you give them weed, whatever, they can get static ataxia. There's a whole bunch of issues that can kill you if you take too much weed, but we weigh so much that it's almost
Are you calling me fat?
No, just bigger than my dog. Right?
You're saying I'm big boned?
No, but I would like, can you go get the grouch?
Yep.
So I will tell you guys this. Some of you guys know this, but not everybody does. In 2018, weed is legal in California. You guys know that. We had it was Scott's birthday, and we had friends come, and we had somebody bring weed brownies as a gift. And we put them out, and apparently maybe got high. I don't know. And then went to bed, and there were 2 left on the counter. And oops, this asshole ate them.
Yeah.
And spent 5 days in the doggy ER hooked up to an IV with lactated ringers. It was the worst thing I have ever done in my life.
Our grouch dog OD'd, you guys.
She spent 5 days so high, and on Tuesday we will show you, our pup date will be my stupid stone dog. She spent 5 days incredibly high in the ER. It's the most expensive vet bill I've ever had. And she also had knee surgery in this past December, which was super expensive.
Yeah. This was more expensive. When you don't have human children, you do this to your dogs.
And so I'll tell you this. Keeping your weed away and alcohol and all that stuff away from your animals is very important because they react differently than we do, and we can't judge it.
Yes.
This was totally an accident. I'm super grateful she made it through. Apparently, it's a very, very easy thing for their temperature to drop so low. And she's only 12 pounds, so her temperature to drop so low that's the thing that hurts her. She did okay, but I'll show you on Tuesday oh my God, my dog's so high. The good news is nature takes care of this, because the first thing that most dogs lose when they get high is their ability to control their bladder. And the last thing they get back is their ability to control their bladder. So this dog peed all over me for 10 days. And I've learned my lesson. And she's perfectly healthy. She got the best care from VCA Animal Hospitals, and we were idiots. I was an idiot anyway.
And while she was peeing, all of a sudden I had a great story idea, and I had to focus on my writing.
And yes, she had a luxating patella that was fixed, Kim. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
It was terribly scary.
Let's close this shop out, my girl.
Oh, is it time?
Yep, it's time. It's time.
Whoop.
It's time. Go for it, baby.
So, you guys, please, if you have any ideas, sponsors, thoughts, anything about Story Smack, Sigler in Place, or Sigler in general, email info@emptyset. We want also nonprofit ideas.
We will be back Thursday, October 15th. No, God damn it. That's wrong. We'll be back,
yeah.
We'll be back Tuesday, October 20th. And we are going to find out who is the meanest, eating lightning, crapping thunder, badass mofo in the world of the jizz. We're going to the Gizmo Championship. It's going to be Rocky against Caddyshack. It is going to be one of the most gripping, celebrated movies of a generation, up against a bunch of fart vomit jokes and a smoke squirrel and exploding plastic explosives, which, to be fair, Rocky has those plastic explosives. That's going to be coming up on the 15th.
We do want you to come in if you have time on Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Come join us for the French Connection Story Smack. It'll be right here where you're watching this. But until Tuesday or Saturday, we want you to stay safe.
We want you to stay smart.
We need you to stay science.
And you know what? We forgot something. Let's call this up. Sorry, I'm the one who screwed it up. You got 18 days, Rock. 18 days to get your registration in. I've been waiting my whole life. I'm 78 years old. I want to get my registration and I want to vote. You can check your registration. You can register to vote. You can vote by mail, Rock. Do you hear what I'm saying? When you can catch that ballot, Rock, you'll be as fast as greased lightning. There's record voter turnout all over the country, Rock. All over the country. Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, other Georgias, Harris County, other places in Georgia, also Texas. What we're trying to say is you have a very limited amount of time yet left to figure out where you can go vote. Go to vote.org and you can figure that out. And for the love of science, stay informed. Listen to people who actually know shit and have studied shit their whole life. That's $2 for me. Don't listen to idiots who just spout stuff off or retweet conspiracy theories, other things of that nature. I got off track. We were actually supposed to rehearse the outro, so it looked real smooth. We got busy. It didn't happen. Here we go. We love you all. We will see you on Tuesday, or Saturday and Tuesday. Mwah!